Hello, hello again. It's been a while since the last podcast episode. I guess this is a monthly podcast, or at least it's an example of you can aim for weekly, but also be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to make mistakes or fall off schedule, to accept yourself no matter how your creativity and productivity are. So, anyways, I guess I've been having just a bit too much fun. November was my birthday, early November, and also my sister's birthday. And my gosh, it was probably one of the best birthdays that I'd ever had. And it's all thanks to I still can't believe no one's ever booked me a surprise tickets, plane tickets trip, especially cross country all the way. I was in California, West Coast, all the way to the East Coast, where all of my clients were from my recent cohort of the group program, Tame the Tiger, for Asian mental health support. And I just couldn't believe it. They told me with less than a week's notice that we're like, hey, if you're free, come join us. We're all gathering to meet everybody because they had all met each other, but not all together, just bits and pieces, like individual meetings, the four of them. But before one of them was going to move cross country, they wanted everyone to gather together. And I remember in our last call that we finished up in October, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I really wish I could be there. And what? I guess they made it happen and they made it a reality. I still can't believe it. So we spent the 4 months together sharing, I mean, really pouring our hearts out and sharing so much of ourselves and our journeys with just navigating our difficulties in life. We all had in common that we had had pretty traditional or harsh Asian parenting that led us to just have really high expectations of ourselves and other people, led us to be really perfectionistic, hard on ourselves, all the things that I'm sure many of the listeners here could relate to. And it just something magical unfolded because even though some people didn't do all the homework or all the little tasks in between the calls themselves in the sessions, in the group sessions, were just so therapeutic. And I received such wonderful feedback that it was so healing in a new way or to a new layer that they hadn't experienced before, even though many of them had done so much of their own inner work through their own therapists, one-on-one coaches and guides and healers and energy work and all these things of somatic healing, courses, books, self-help, everything, all the whole gamut. And yet, I think one of the most magical things that happened in our group was that like some people, they're just like, I see, oh my gosh, that person was exactly who I was not too long ago. And gosh, like I can guide them. Or this really made me realize like, look how far that I had come. I mean, that was the feedback that I got from one of the members. And I'm just like, wow, that is really cool. And to be able to see yourself, just even exactly the same words that we're saying to ourselves or to others. And it's just like, to see that reflected back at us really allows us to go deeper in accessing compassion and love, and especially that unconditional love that so many of us were missing and rightfully deserved from our closest people around us, our caregivers, and never got. I mean, because of capacity, it's not for lack of them trying, but it just to be able to experience that and to see it outside of you and for that person to be a mirror and to feel that way towards them allows us to feel that way more towards ourselves too. It was just so beautiful. I'm like still just so blown away, so grateful, so touched and honored that this happened, that all this magic happened within our short 12 sessions together over the 4 months. And just wow. And I'd always loved bringing community together. And I was hoping that the participants would stay in touch with each other afterwards, if not, hopefully become lifelong friends, soul brothers and sisters on their journeys together. And I just, it was just incredible that everyone just felt so close and really was motivated to meet up. And they traveled hours across 5 different state lines to meet up with each other. It was just so beautiful. I just can't, I words fail me. So, anyways, I just wanted to felt compelled. I was like, I wanted to write a blog post or share some kind of podcast episode, unscripted, just about that experience and just everything that happened on that magical long weekend. It's like they flew me in. It was a whirlwind. We did so much over those 4 days, and including lots of long hugs, therapeutic touch, trying out different healing modalities, and some of us were also in the healing space and sharing our gifts with each other. And there was one part because I love karaoke and singing that, and I do love dancing as well. And nowadays I don't mind dancing in front of people, but there was one moment that I really didn't think anyone was watching me. I was just woke up late. I was still on West Coast time. I woke up late. Everyone else had had breakfast. I was just having my breakfast in the kitchen, and one of my clients' Asian dads was there and had put on Happy Birthday on YouTube. It was like a 1 hour loop. And I was just like, oh my gosh, no one's ever done that for me before. Like, that seems excessive. Like, there's still a part of me clearly that feels a bit uncomfortable celebrating myself, and especially to that extent. But I was leaning into it. I was like, cool, okay, I can listen to this. This is good practice for just accepting and receiving all that love and celebration in for the hour. And there were parts where I was like, oh, okay, it's not just like the usual happy birthday on repeat. There was like some parts that was more like dance music. I can't even describe it. It was like techno rap, some kind of thing that really made me want to dance. And so I was like, okay, well, nobody's here. I'm gonna to party in the kitchen while I clean up a bit. And I was found out later that there was a candid security camera there all along from, oh my gosh, the client whose home I was in. I was like, oh, like I just put in the blog post that I wrote about it, the video of the moment that I found out that there was a camera. And I was just like, what? Oh, jeez. So it was, yeah. But I am okay sharing it because I feel like it's hard for me. I feel like I sometimes get stage fright, or just it's can be really hard to be yourself, especially since I'm not someone who normally uses social media for my personal life. And so when I tried to build an online business, it was like, oh, I have to share myself online. It just feels so fake. It's like I always get weird when I'm put in front of a camera or a microphone. And I was just like, so, and people were saying, Tony, you're so different in real life, in real person, and you should just let that side of you show more, that silly side, that, I don't know, the chill side, and the relaxed side, and the really fun side. And I was like, how? I don't know. I'm trying. I was trying. I'm still not perfect at it, but I was like, okay, I actually have a couple of candid videos, so I guess I'll just share them, and it's okay. And the client actually told me he was really inspired and touched that to see that like I had come so far in my healing, especially the healing of my inner child, that I could even move like that, first off, and allow myself and my body to express myself in that way, and also to feel safe and okay sharing that publicly with other people. I was like, you know what? That's true. It's so hard to realize sometimes how far you've come until you just pause and look back, or you look back. And I was like, the me from years ago would not have been okay with any of that. So it was just, yeah, it was such a wonderful moment. And I was glad that he pointed it out. So here I am sharing about that. And so I'll just put the link to the blog post and the videos in the show notes, in this episode notes, if you are curious. But yeah, I think that part of healing our inner child is being able to feel more comfortable with who we are in our own skin, in our bodies, and just allowing our bodies to express themselves express itself fully, just whatever is flowing through us in the moment, and being so attuned to it, and just letting it out without censoring ourselves or limiting ourselves, because especially when you've grown up like with these high expectations, or expectations and boxes and limits to be smaller, be quieter, or don't be yourself because the real you isn't acceptable here. It isn't allowed here. It's not welcomed here. You don't belong. I mean, those were the messages that I got for so much of my life, if not the entire time growing up, that it took me a long time to feel comfortable sharing my true self and even my full self. And even now, some friendships, I mean, I try to be, yeah, but still feel like a burden sometimes for some people. And I'm working through that, and just feeling more comfortable being like, it's okay. I don't need to please everybody. I don't need to keep everybody comfortable. I don't need to caretake for their feelings, to stay safe as I did when I was a child. So it's okay. I mean, I'm not trying to get everybody to like me. If they don't vibe with me, that's fine. It doesn't mean that there's anything broken or wrong about me. So it's just learning to be okay showing yourself and vulnerably showing all of yourself. So that was a big lesson. Whew. And that moment, just even though it was just a tiny moment in that whole weekend, it really brought up a lot of those thoughts, and this gratitude for this journey I've been on, and what an honor and privilege again to be in this space and helping others also heal and become more of themselves as well, or remembering who they truly are. So that was a moment. And of course, every other moment was amazing. We had so much food, cake, celebrations, even karaoke and danced. And yeah, and everyone just really brought all their love. And it was just so amazing and so sweet. And another client did bring her things for healing, like energy, juices or vials, and crystals and jewelry and stones, and her massage table. And she gave everyone a healing energy session and massage. And it was just so wonderful as well. And I just again, just feel so grateful to know these people, and to have played a role, some part in their journeys, and to have created this community and this space so that everyone can support each other. I mean, I've never believed in hierarchy. I believe that every single person has so much to share with the world and with others, something that only they uniquely have and can share. And it's unique, and nobody else can possibly replace them or do exactly what they do. And so with these sort of communities, even though I was the leader, the main person, I really tried to keep it in the atmosphere of like, all are welcome here, and we all have so much that we can learn from each other and teach each other. So again, it was so amazing, and I wish I could have stayed longer. I just had to come back out west. Now I'm here for a house sitting assignment, watching 4 super sweet cats. I'm surprised that they're not here bugging the camera right now, because they have been during my Zoom calls. But it's been wonderful. If you're curious about nomading or traveling in that way with house sitting, let me know. I'm happy to send you this 25% off referral code for trustedhousesitters.com. It's only like $100 US dollars for a year. And so you just get to spend time with other people's pets and check out somewhere. And sometimes you can find ones that are quite long. Like this one's going to be 2 months long in Northern California. So if you are in the Bay Area, let me know. I am going to be here till January 5th through the holidays, and hopefully can get into a better work schedule, but we will see. So anyways, I wanted to share about just how amazing this weekend was. And thank you so much to every single person in the Tame the Tiger group program, in the family, and that we're all going to continue this journey together and continue to meet afterwards as well. So it's just, ah, gosh, to each and every person there, if you don't mind, I'm going to call out. Some of them have asked to only use initials, and others are okay with me using their names. But first, wanted to say, Kurt, you are the one who I feel like did the most organization of this and really spearheading this epic reunion and this endeavor to get everybody together, conspired to get everybody together. So thank you so much for driving, gosh, I don't even know, 7 hours over the course of the weekend to just pick everybody up, and Hyun to come all the way from Maryland up to Philadelphia and then to going to New York to meet the other two. It's just incredible. And then SK and RK for coming out and hanging out even with your baby. Just so just so lovely. And Hyun, thank you for bringing everything that you did, and for gifting me some amazing dresses that you had. I really experimented with just changing my energy or my views and perceptions of myself, or feeling a bit more feminine, or feeling a bit more, or just at least a bit different than how I am usually, and bringing out different sides of each other. And so just thank you everyone so much again for just an unbelievable, incredible weekend. Like, I feel like I could gush for a long time, but I'm not going to make this episode drag on too much more. But I just want to say that again, just thank you, thank you. I had wanted to do this, and I felt like, wow, this was just a reminder that no dream is impossible, or like any dream is possible. Because when I had envisioned this sort of mental health support and empowerment group, I had always hoped that people would become close enough that they would make the effort to meet in person and to stay in touch afterwards, if not very regularly or very closely. And I never expected that all of us would be able to meet in person in the same place, just so perfectly timed after this program finished as well. And it really felt like, I mean, I've been still on the fence a bit, and with my scientific background about actual manifestation of like, do our thoughts, do our ideas actually become reality? And I just feel like this was an amazing example. So I just feel like from a dream to a reality, this sort of loving community, tight knit, that I had dreamed of for so long, maybe even my entire life, because I felt like I had always struggled with building authentic, genuine, deep friendships, and just being able to share to the depth that we have, and to really feel that sense of like kinship and belonging with each other. It's yeah, there's just nothing that I could possibly say that would do it justice, but I hope that, yeah, I just wanted to share this personal example really of that this is possible to happen, and whatever you are dreaming of too, I'm sure you can make it happen as well. So, yeah. Anyways, I will end this podcast episode now. A couple other, I guess I would say, announcements or updates. So first off, if you are interested in doing this program for the next round of people, it's called Tame the Tiger. Get in touch with me. You can message me on my blog. You can send me an email at drtooney@mail.com, or even text me. I have a work number now. It is +1 US number 862-904-0933. For just information, if you want to try the program out for yourself, there's even a self-paced one you can go through. But once you do it, then you graduate and are an alumni, and you can join our lifelong support memberships at whatever level of support that you feel would be best for you. And I'm also being more public about my book that I had published, Why You Know Doctor Anymore, honoring your family and yourself too. So that one, we are still in open enrollment for the book club as well. Things just got a bit delayed with everything that's been going on. So if you're curious about that, just get in touch with me as well. Thank you so much. So much, TTT family. And just, uh, and I hope for all you listeners that this brought you some comfort or inspiration of some sort. And thank you for even listening to my podcast as well. If anyone wants to come on and collaborate or be one of the guests, you are welcome to reach out to me as well. All right. Have a great week or month ahead. Have a wonderful time. American Thanksgiving's coming up really soon, as well as some major holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. I will definitely make another episode for December at the very least. All right. Have a great one. Bye bye.